Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh man, there's like a minute delay. Oh man, there's like a minute delay. Are there 3 watching? I haven't even told anybody that this exists. Okay, whatever. Are there 3 watching? I haven't even told anybody that this exists. Okay, whatever. Okay, I guess I'm gonna tweet this and then I'll play some. Okay, I guess I'm gonna tweet this and then I'll play some. Hey, I show up on the gaming watch card for Kerbal Space Program because nobody else is playing right now. Hey, I show up on the gaming watch card for Kerbal Space Program because nobody else is playing right now. It's technically I'm not playing right now either. Yeah, I got chat on my phone, but I don't know whether I can actually read it while I'm playing or not. But that won't matter if nobody comes, so I'll burn that bridge while we cross it. Chat on my phone, but I don't know. I can close out of my own thing, I have an echo. But that won't matter if nobody comes. I think what I'm going to try to do is put a science station around the moon. So. First thing I gotta do is rescue these current stranded scientists I have in orbit. This is slightly out of range of a low orbit rescue, so I'm gonna have to use the expensive one. And I believe I'm flying against the rotation of the planet. Pretty sure. supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen. Yep, I screwed that up. This stage you have to be really careful, because I have very little gyroscopes. Because anything during the launch stage I'm never getting back. Try to reduce the cost as much as possible. I'd really like to be going a lot more laterally than I am. First thing is just to circularize the orbit. Don't need a very high orbit. I'm going to change it to match the target as soon as I get into a stable orbit. And my phone screen totally turned off, so I can't actually tell if anybody's here, or if I'm just talking to myself. Wasn't a particularly good launch. Ideally, this burn should be less than 2 minutes, and it's almost 3 minutes. Well, on the bright side, I'm in a pretty close to the same plane as the orbit I'm trying to hit. 1.8 degrees. Perhaps a little over 120, so I can go into high speed. Works. Need to rotate the plane of the orbit to sync up. Something like this. Yeah, it's just about perfect. Two. That's probably fine. Okay, now I'm going to raise my apoapsis. I'm not really sure how to say that. Till it's pretty close to the targets. Better to be not far enough than too far, because going too far and coming back uses more fuel. Okay, that's kind of behind me, so I gotta warp all the way around. This is going to burn too. Might actually have to stage because I'm getting low on fuel. Got 2 more stages after this one, but ideally I only want to use the last one for landing. That's my fuel being cut. This is actually my most maneuverable stage. It's at the same number of boosters as the other stage, but a lot less weight. Let's finish up this maneuver. That precise at this point. So my synchronization, my orbit's still way off. What I can do is use maneuver that's an orbit ahead to see where my future intersections would be if I just do nothing. So it looks like this is where I'll be. This is where I'll be in one orbit. Then I'm going to pass it. So for this small orbit, I want to go around once, and then I want to increase the size of my orbit so I'm not gaining quite as much on it. So go ahead and just warp around once. Now, I'm still behind it. I want to try to line my orbit up with it a bit more than it is. But not completely, because I still need to catch it. I'm going to try and touch the orbit right there. High point. Just a little bit smaller orbit this time, and then I can gain the rest by going around a couple of times. Shot it. Well, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to use the same trick before. Use a maneuver node to see where I'm going to be at in the future. Looks like if I wait 2 orbits, I'm going to be right on top of it, which is perfect. Let's do that. There's 1. Very good. At this point, what I want to try to do is zero out my velocity with relation to it, which is this little crossed yellow circle here. I also want to move a little bit towards the target. Yeah. I'm going to go between that pink markers towards it and that yellow markers, zeroing out my relative velocity, so I should just kind of fire between them. That should push these 2 points closer together. bit. At this point, the map doesn't really do me any good, so I'm going to switch back to the light. Should be close enough to see it. Yeah, there it is. Just going to go right in it. Point in the direction that I'm moving. Line this up and kind of see when I'm beginning to pass it, which is not for a while. Do the same thing as before, between zeroing out my velocity and then increasing my velocity towards it. Just a second. It's about to fly past me. Pretty close. I don't need to go that fast. Go ahead and flip over so I can stop in time. Should be able to do the maneuver once I get to about 200 meters. Once you switch ships, you can't revert anymore. So that's the point of no return. Quick boost in the right direction should do the trick. says my velocity is 0.1, but it's small enough that there aren't even any markers for relative velocity. So at this point, jump back and do a quick save, just in case I screw this part up. I don't have any docking boards or anything. What I'm going to have to do is take the scientists out and then fly them through space and get them into the rescue ship. So, Orbital Science Station. I guess transmit any last bits of science. Looks like it doesn't have enough power to actually do that. And only had 2 science, so that's not a big deal. Where is the ship? Be visible. Yes. Yes. Thrusters. Slow down, slow down. Doors on the bottom. Won't be able to get in because the pilot's still in. So, switch. Pilot out of. Only place with a door. Okay, there's one down. If I put this other guy in here, I'm not going to be able to transfer crew to get the pilot back in the pilot seat. It looks like he's going to have to wait in space. Just don't go anywhere. Is it? Nope, aviate port. Ooh, going a little fast. Board. Get this guy back in. Okay. Now I'm going to save again just in case I blow up on re-entry. It's been known to happen. A lot. Still got a lot of fuel, so I can probably do a pretty fast re-entry and then just kind of slam on the brakes once I hit the edge of the atmosphere. Edge of the atmosphere is about 70,000 meters, so I want to get just barely in that. And I want to bring the high part of my orbit down, otherwise I'm going to be going too fast. That's good. You also lose the ability to warp at high speed once you enter the atmosphere. Makes the game a lot more boring. I want to pull my high point down until it's also pretty much in the atmosphere. Low point is really low, so I'm landing. Ideally, I'd like to land in the water, but I'm gonna get a little bit closer and wait till I start catching fire. The ship has a landing booster, and I'm not even to it yet, so should be pretty easy. I only go up to 4 times speed when I'm in the atmosphere. Really, I'd like to land in the ocean. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Maybe I'll make that happen. That looks like a good spot. Go ahead and toss these. Got a final coupling. It's not like any of this is going to be salvaged anyway. 5 boosters. Oh crap, I ran out of power. That's really, really bad. Get power back. Keep this booster on. But I need to turn off the autopilot for re-entry, at least for a little while. Which is bad. Goes my booster. Let's kick that up. Turn the back on. In retrograde. Definitely take less power than this is generating. Make sure I land in the ocean. I need to stop boosting. I'm gonna land on land. That's a pretty light fire. Boost just a little. Well, no, I guess I'm not. I'm out of fuel. Okay, well, much for that. It's coming back. Got enough battery to land. Should be an easy landing, hopefully. Usually pop my parachutes around 4,000 or 250 meters per second. Ideally, both of those things. Flip up a little bit. A little bit more air resistance should slow me down instead of not catching fire anymore. And about there should be perfect. Should be a nice soft landing. I can turn off the autopilot. Ship was a bit more than I really needed for this mission. Threw a lot of fuel away. Designed this ship to do high orbit rescue missions. That mission was too much for my low orbit rescue mission ship. So, to use the more expensive one. Let's just wait. Is anybody actually here? Solar panels, I still ran out of power. Alright. Need report while in space high over Kerbin. Surprised I never got that one before. Somebody's... I'm getting the message. I think that's all I'm gonna do for right now. That was one surprisingly successful mission. And pretty good for a first live stream. I don't know if anybody saw it, but anyway. Power sync out.